Hi everybody and welcome today to Kathy's Craft Room. Today we're going to be making a card that features the watercolor wings 3-step stamp set. And we're also going to be using some phrases from the Flourishing Phrases. We're going to use the God wanted to brighten up the world and the so he made you sentiments that are on here. So we're going to kind of use a mixture of both. We are going to start off again with a Tip Top Taupe base. This is a full-size 8.5 by 11 sheet cut at 4.5 and then scored at 5.5. So we have our sheet. Then we're going to have a 4 this way and 5 1/4 this way. This is a sheet of our new Peekaboo Peach cardstock. Then this is just a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this stamp set is actually retired. It's the polka dot stamp set, but you could just use a piece of polka dot paper instead. I still have the stamp, so I stamped that already. We'll also be using I use the triple banner punch to make these banners. This is the 2-inch banner. It's 2 by 4, 2 by 4, and then 1.5 by 4, 1.5 by 3.5, and then the 1-inch banner, the 1-inch by 2.5 on there. So go down 1/2 inch on each one. So we're going to end up layering those on top of each other like that for this card. I also have already cut out a butterfly using my Big Shot. So we're going to stamp straight onto this, but this is actually the frame. It's one of the framelets that you can get with the watercolor wishes. So we are only going to use 2 colors today, and that is Peekaboo Peach and Tip Top Taupe. We're going to do some triple stamping. We're going to use the peach quite a bit. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get all of our stamping done before we put our card together. So we're going to stamp our butterfly. So the first thing, this is the first stamp, and this is a 3-layer stamp. So this is the first stamp, and we're going to go ahead and ink this up in the Peekaboo Peach. Okay, open up your stamp set, your stamp pad, and we're going to ink it up. Okay, and then we're actually going to stamp this twice, okay? So we're gonna stamp once, and then twice, and then the third time we stamp, we're gonna stamp right on the butterfly, right here. So line it up, stamp on the butterfly. So what you get is actually a really light shade. So that's the 3 letters. See, it's the darkest, and then light, and then the lightest. So we have 3 different layers here. So that's the first stamp. The second stamp is going to be the edges of the butterfly, like this. And I wanted it to be darker this time. So I'm gonna ink it up off camera here. And then we are going to stamp it once. And then we're going to stamp the next one right on top of it. Okay, you see what the look that it gives it? So you see the lighter shading and then the darker shading. And then it does have one more layer to it. And that's here, that's the stamp. And we are going to re-ink that up. Okay, and then we're gonna stamp full strength right on top of the butterfly. You'll see what this does to it. And there you go. So 1 stamp, 3 different shades of color, and now we have a little butterfly. I'm going to go ahead and just bend it a little bit like that so that it'll pop up on top of the card like that. Okay, so the other part of the stamping that we're going to do is going to be in Tip Top Taupe. That's our gray color here. And we're going to go ahead and mount our little phrase here that says, God wanted to brighten up the world. I don't put the stickers on the back because they stick much better without it. So I'm just going to put that on top here. And then I'm going to go ahead and ink that up. We're going to do this full strength. And you see how I kind of got some around the edges? That's fine. Just make sure you don't rock the stamps back and forth, because then that will leave a mark on the edge. And we are going to stamp this right, make sure it's the right way. Stamp it right on our little banner. And see here? And that's how it looks. God wanted to brighten up the world. So that's all the stamping that we're going to do. Everything else that we're going to do is just be putting the card together. And it's quite simple. So you'll need some sort of adhesive. Today I'm just going to use some regular adhesive. Okay, so whatever adhesive that you have, and we're going to start putting the card together. So first we're going to take this Peekaboo Peach and we are going to layer it right on top here. So we're going to put some mono-adhesive glue here, and then we're going to layer it, make sure it's nice and even. I'm going to put it right down here. Okay, so that's our base with our little Peekaboo Peach on top of it. And then we're going to layer this right on top. So you see they're each a 1/4 inch smaller, so they fit right on top so that you can see all the different layers on there. So we are going to put this layer on next. Here, make sure that's nice and even. Okay, and we're going to do the same technique. You see the same layers and everything with our banner. So we're going to take and put some adhesive on our banner, and then we're going to put it right here in the middle. Here, and then we're gonna put some adhesive on the back here and put it right here in the middle. All right, you do have a little bit of wiggle room there, okay, so that we get a banner that looks like this. And then we're going to take the banner and put it right on top of the card. So this card has a bunch of different layers on it, lots of dimension to it. So I'm going to kind of put it to the right side because I want my butterfly to be the center of everything. So we have our little butterfly right here. And I also went ahead and got some of these rhinestones that we sell at Stampin' Up. And I'm going to just put a little layer of those. There's these little, they connect, little ones on the edge. So I'm just going to kind of put it in the middle for the body of the butterfly just to give it a little bit of sparkle there. So that's nice. And then I'm also going to take and put a little bit, I have the Stampin' Dimensionals here. And if you take the edges of the dimensionals and kind of rip them apart, you know, you can actually use that. So you don't have to throw those away. You get all the use out of it. And I'm going to put it right on the back of my butterfly. And that's just going to layer that up a bit so that it's not flush. And then, because I want this to be able to fit inside of a card, I'm going to make sure that my little wings are here, but that my words still show. Okay, so there you go. And now your little butterfly is here when the person takes it out. Okay, so we do have a little bit more stamping that we want to do for the inside, because the outside said God wanted to brighten up the world. So there's a little match that's inside of it that says, so he made you. So that's the other sweet part to this sentiment. So I want to go ahead and get that stamped on the inside. And I'm going to do that in our Tip Top Taupe. So I'm just going to load up my little stamp here. Get my ink out. Stamp it up. Try to be as careful as you can not to get, it's a little bitty stamp. So you see I still got some on the outside. Just make sure that when you stamp it down, that you do not rock it. So you want it right in the middle. No rocking. You see, that's why I didn't, if I would have went back and forth, because you see what happens? When you go back and forth, you'll get little lines like that. So you don't want to rock your stamps. You want to rock them for fun. You don't want to rock them literally. So I do want to make it match on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little butterfly. So I'm going to pull my stamps back in that I stamped earlier for my butterfly. And I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to do a little watermark of the big butterfly, the bottom butterfly. And I'm actually going to go ahead and do it in both colors. So first I'm going to take my butterfly here, the big piece of it. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp once, stamp twice, and then go off in the corner here. So you see how that just gives it a little bit of a watermark. And then I'm also going to take, close your stamps. I'm also going to take my tip top taupe, and I'm going to do the same thing. So we're going to have a little gray butterfly here as well. So we're going to ink it up. And then we're going to stamp once, stamp twice. See how bold that is? And then I think I'm going to come up a little bit and stamp there. So now we have two little butterflies for our inside of the card. The last thing that you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and put some adhesive on the back of this card, because I do like to use colored cardstock. So I need to make a white inside to it. So there you go, put this on the inside, line it all up, and there you go. A beautiful card. It's not a birthday card. It could be. Originally I did make this as a birthday card for my card class, but I just wanted something a little bit different. I've had a lot of people that have had things going on in their lives, and sometimes you just need a card to make you feel good. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like and subscribe if you'd like to see some more. If you'd like to join my Stampin' Up team, please head on over to Stampin' Up, and I'd be glad to be your demonstrator. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.